Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. 1 year after the devastating loss of Shannen Doherty, the world is still mourning the beloved actress, but perhaps no one more than her close friend, Sarah Michelle Gellar. On July 13, exactly 1 year after Doherty's death, Gellar took to Instagram to share a tribute that left fans in tears. A raw, emotional homage to a friendship that spanned 3 decades and weathered life's toughest storms. A tribute, without words but full of feeling in an age where celebrities often pen long captions. Sarah Michelle Gellar's choice to let her silence speak volumes was profound. She posted a series of personal photos, candid snapshots of her and Shannen laughing, hugging, horseback riding, cooking, and simply being together, set to the emotional track "See You Again" by Wiz Khalifa and Charlie Puth. Her only caption, "A broken heart emoji." It was a minimalist expression that carried a maximal emotional weight. Fans and fellow celebrities flooded the comments with condolences, stories, and tears. Echoing a sentiment Gellar had shared many times before, the bond she and Shannen shared was irreplaceable. A 30-year friendship forged in fame and life. Though the two actresses never co-starred on screen, their connection ran deep. They met in the early 90s, during the height of their careers, Gellar as the vampire slaying Buffy Summers and Doherty as Brenda Walsh on Beverly Hills 90,210, and later as Prue Halliwell on Charmed. But it wasn't shared screen time that defined their friendship, it was shared experiences, real-life support, and unwavering loyalty. Gellar once described Shannen as brutally honest, fiercely loyal, and unapologetically herself. It was that mix of strength and vulnerability that Gellar admired most. And that made the loss all the more painful. Shannen's long, brave fight. Diagnosed with breast cancer in 2015, Shannen Doherty approached her illness with courage, candor, and grace. She documented her journey publicly, hoping to shed light on the realities of cancer, the hair loss, the fatigue, the fear, and empower others in similar battles. In 2017, she entered remission, but in 2020, she announced the return of stage 4 cancer, and by 2023 it had spread to her brain and bones. Despite her deteriorating health, Shannen remained defiant and driven. She continued to work, to advocate for cancer awareness, and to cherish time with her closest loved ones, especially Gellar, who remained a steadfast source of comfort through the highs and lows. In interviews leading up to her passing, Gellar spoke of Shannen as one of the bravest people I know. Their friendship wasn't just based on memories, they were still creating them. Right until the end, a community still grieving. Gellar's post was joined by tributes from many of Shannen's co-stars and friends. Rose McGowan, who famously had a rocky relationship with Doherty during their Charmed days, shared that grief had softened past tensions and replaced them with deep gratitude. Holly Marie Combs, another Charmed co-star and lifelong friend, called Shannen her other half and said she still felt like a piece of her was missing. Tori Spelling, Jenny Garth, and Brian Austin Green, all 90,210 alumni, shared memories and heartbreak, each reflecting on the unique light Shannen brought to their lives and sets. But Sarah's tribute felt the most intimate. It wasn't a press release or a public statement. It was a best friend quietly mourning. A woman who lost someone who had been her ride or die through Hollywood chaos and personal triumphs alike. More than an actress, a true original, Shannen Doherty was never just her roles. She was fiery, flawed, funny, and full of heart. She loved fiercely, fought bravely, and lived loudly. Gellar often said that Shannen's greatest role wasn't Prue Halliwell or Brenda Walsh, it was being a friend, a fighter, and a fierce advocate for truth and vulnerability. In life, Shannen was a force of nature. In death, her legacy is just as powerful. Through Gellar's eyes, we're reminded of how deep friendships can run, how they hold us through the unbearable, and how love doesn't die with the person. A love that endures 1 year later. Sarah Michelle Gellar still feels the weight of losing her best friend. Her post wasn't for fame or fanfare, it was for Shannen. A quiet, soul-bearing acknowledgement that love remains, even after death. In one of her last interviews about Shannen, Gellar summed up grief in a way that resonates deeply. "It only hurts this much because there was so much love.